Okay, Chase Sexton, a week in Florida, which must have been nice. We know you wanted that. Did you make massive advancements? Is there even a need to make progress at this point?
No, I was honestly a little more nervous that the bike setup from California was going to work in Florida, and it worked. So I felt really good this week. Had a good week back with Tom. Riding on the East Coast dirt was fun. So, and just being home, having a 10-minute drive to the track is really nice. So, yeah, happy to be here in Florida. The weather is nice. It's hot, and a lot of sand. So it should be fun.
How stable are you at the moment in yourself and also with bike setup? Are you in a pretty comfortable place?
Yeah, I'm really comfortable. I mean, there's always stuff that I can improve on, obviously, but I think right now I'm just kind of going with the flow and trying to just have fun is the biggest thing. It's a long season, and if you start grinding super early, it's not going to end well. So for me, just enjoying it and try and just find the little things during the week that I can work on, but overall just going with the flow.
Maybe a bold claim, but we all remember you were the 2023 champ, of course.
Yep.
How would I forget? But even that year, you were like searching with bike setup and stuff. So is this the most stable you've been in a long time, even past your championship year?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is like last year was such a struggle in Supercross that I've been searching for something that I can just ride like consistently for a while, and I've now found it, I feel like. And so it's kind of like a weight off my shoulders a little bit, and also maybe off the team's. Just having something that I can really just ride how I want to. Like this week, I feel like I hit my highest heart rate I've hit in a long time on a dirt bike because I'm able to push, which is nice. And that's something just to, yeah, it's a lot of weight just off our shoulders, I think.
Last thing, you've got the red plate, that's great, and you've got weight off your shoulders, but weight on mine.
Oh,
because we are making moves in this interview game. Red plate on the bike.
I've heard a lot. You might have the red plate as an interview.
No, I think we've got a joint red plate. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, because I think it's really only the interviews with me, right?
Yes. Look at that.
That's
all
cool.
It took was me to come here to make you better.
Or did I make you better?
Fair.
You could argue either way.
But now there's pressure.
I would say you probably make my interviews better. I mean, people for some reason really like them.
Honestly, people.
But there's also you've seen the Instagram, them clipping what I said, and
I think it was more on me.
You kept that in there for a reason.
No, it was fine. But we do now have pressure. There's pressure on me now to deliver this content.
Yeah, you do have pressure.
Okay.
Because if the interviews get worse, then you're only as good as your last interview.
So I can't piss you off, basically.
No, I mean you're gonna have to try really hard to make me mad.
I'll try.
Like really hard.
Yeah, again, Roczen, zeroing in on something specifically, your starts have been far and away better than your competitors this year. What does that come down to? Can you pinpoint why you're so effective there?
I wouldn't let it fool you. I don't think my starts have been that amazing, but sometimes...
Maybe best of a bad bunch?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think, besides obviously, you don't want to go down in the beginning, so that's first and foremost the most important, but it's just I sometimes just weasel my way through into a position where I can actually make up some time and charge forward. So it's definitely an ongoing practice. Like it's really tough to get a start. I don't know if I've just gotten worse or if everybody's better, but it's tough to get up front, that's for sure.
I figured you were going to tell me about the factory transmission and start going down this rabbit hole.
No, I mean, the bike doesn't ride itself, so it's not some magic pill that you add to a bike and all of a sudden you're 10 spots further ahead. So it's tough.
Maybe a basic question. Are you more confident at this point than you were at this point last year?
No, I wouldn't say so, honestly. I think last year I was going really, really good in the beginning too. Just had some bad luck and wouldn't find myself with the results that I wanted. But I'm pretty neutral. I wouldn't say that I'm overconfident. Every weekend is gnarly, and I think that's what I've worked on a lot, and it comes a lot more natural to me now that I just treat every race the same. And I just come here and I don't by any means think that I'm the man, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to take it practice by practice, to be honest, and put myself in good position though when the nitro comes.
Does that mean that last year to this year, you don't really feel like you're better or there's much of a change? To you, this is just same old?
Man, that's a tough one. I would have to let the people make the decision. I want to say that I'm better, but everybody is. So it's just, I don't know. I think at this point, like there's just been times in my career where I'm really, really good, and then I think my mentality is just a lot more rock solid, and I just focus also on a lot of other things than just dirt bikes. And I think that's just really helped me not care a lot, but not care so much.
Are you maybe maintaining more perspective about what lies ahead? Are you putting more of a focus on round 11 this year rather than taking it so week to week?
100%. Yeah, I think looking out ahead is really, really important, but you also have to focus on what's going on right now. But I'm not ride or die out there, you know. I'm just doing my thing and I'm having a lot of fun. And honestly, that sometimes makes me try actually harder, you know what I mean? And maybe that's why I've been good late in the motos as well. I'm just having a blast out there and take it for what it is. And even if it gets tough, you want to hang in there and just do it to your best of your capabilities, honestly.
Another random question kind of sums up this interview. Leaving Glendale, it was so great. But what was one thing that in your mind you were like, I need to work on that now?
I don't know if there's nothing really specific that has to be worked on. I think you know, you watch the race and you take the good with the bad with the good, and I really just botched the last race. The start wasn't there, and then my riding, I made too many mistakes. You had to hit the rhythm lanes, or else if you didn't, you were a second down, you know what I mean? So it was just, that was really hard. So I think it's really just keep you focused for that last race and hit your marks a little bit better than I did. But I was still able to fight and at least make something good out of it, which was getting on the podium.
Justin Barcia, the Triple Crown had a good part.
One part at the end.
The final main. Yeah, we're happy with that.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm guessing you were a little frustrated?
Yeah, it was not fun. Yeah, it just didn't click in practice. I barely qualified. Almost had to go to LCQ. That was really fun.
How much was that a shock mentally? Like, were you looking at the times in disbelief?
Yeah, it's like my boy A-Rod was in the B practice, and I was like, don't go faster. And luckily I snaked him off. But yeah, I was not pleased with it. I was like, yeah, I felt like I rode good, but I obviously didn't go that fast. And yeah, the first main, bad gate pick for that track was tough. Second main, I got a better start, but didn't ride good. And third main, put it all together. So it's in there. It's all in there, man. Just need to do it. Make it happen. I still love it. Still having fun. Still happy to be here. I could be injured or something. So luckily I'm healthy, you know. I got a couple stitches in my leg still, but that ain't no big deal, man, compared to what some of the boys are dealing with. So yeah, happy to be back on the East Coast. This place is good. I mean, it's tricky for sure. It's obviously a lot different. You know, this is my first time getting out here, but it's a lot different track than what we've been riding. So yeah, it's just good to be back on the East Coast, back in Florida riding, and yeah, time to make some moves, man. I've been making plenty of moves from last place starts to where I can get, but time to make some moves up in the front with the boys and not in the back.
Dumb question. The dumbest question you've ever had.
Dumb question. Give me. It's probably the best question.
You said you need to do it.
Do it. What do you need to do?
Just do it. Why not?
I know, right?
What is that process?
I just like to make everyone feel really uncomfortable and then do it. So yeah, no, honestly.
Are you looking for a Nike sponsorship? Nike? Sorry?
Yeah, just hey, makes sense. Just do it. Let's go, Nike. Nah, yeah, it's just honestly, it is just putting it all together, starting out at the beginning of the day. But we get to try every weekend, and
well, not the off weekend.
Well, not the off weekend. Try other things, I guess. I don't know, but
just fact checking you.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, it's good fact checks. You're on your facts, so yeah, we'll go give it a good, solid, extra go here in Tampa because it's not lack of effort. Like back in Florida this weekend, Eldon's like, you know, like, yeah, come on, and then he's like, oh, don't rev so much smoother, and I'm like, you're confusing me, mate. Like, try or don't try. So it's not lack of effort for sure. So it's just putting it all together, and no better time than the present to put it together.
Is it all starts, or is there other elements to this?
Well, practicing faster, and you know, I got a good start that last main event, and you know, was in a decent place. So yeah, and you know, the confidence been a little beat down the first couple of races, but I'm almost there. It looks worse than it is.
From Vialle, it's been a quiet off-season for you. Is that a good thing? Have there been any issues? Has it really just been going day to day with the same old stuff?
Yeah, so I went to Paris early in the off-season, let's say, to race. The race was great there. I actually won the race, so after that flew back, and I had a good off-season, did a lot of testing, engine, suspension, chassis on the bike. We improved a lot, I think, the bike compared to last year. So no, everything went well. Got a little sick after Christmas, like a lot of people, I think, was sick. But no, overall, apart from that, it was good.
How would you compare your confidence now compared to coming into the season last year?
I think a little bit better.
Only a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I was good last year, but I feel like I'm improving a lot the riding this winter. I feel more comfortable on the bike, in the whoops. I think I was feeling pretty good all winter. So in the rhythm, I would say that on the all track, I improved a lot this winter. So it should be good for racing.
Are you finally at a point now where coming here as the defending champ feels like going into MX2 as a defending champ? Is this just as comfortable now?
Yeah, of course, yes. Like you said, I did it in Europe, but it's a little bit different in Supercross. We have actually less races, so it's 10 races championships. So it should be a little shorter. There's a lot of good guys. I think when I was in Europe, there were maybe like 1 or 2 guys who could win. Now I think like 10 guys won races in Supercross, so there's a lot of guys who can win the race, but no, we're gonna try. That's the main goal, try to defend the championships.
In a weird way, there being so many riders who can win, does that take the pressure off a little bit? Because you know that anything can happen, whereas like you say, MX2, it was kind of like, even if I get a bad start, I should be able to go to the front.
That's true, I didn't think about it, but...
I can be your mental coach.
I didn't really think about it, but yeah, in Europe, of course, I had to win, and I feel like I have to win here too. So I wouldn't say it's a big difference. I feel like I have to fight for the win every weekend and be on the podium the most of the time. So I don't think it's a big difference compared to Europe and now in Supercross this year.
And last question, you said you're better in the whoops. Has that been bike setup or technique? What did you do to get better there?
I think bike setup is big things in the whoops. Of course, we try a lot this winter, but when the bike is working good, it's a big help in the whoops. But I also myself, like it's my third season, so I try to get better every winter, and I try to understand a little bit more what the bike is, and a little bit of both, I think, myself and the bike.
RJ Hampshire, listening to you in a press conference, it was very real, but also didn't sound very confidence-inspiring, let's say. So are you here with very low expectations, or do you inside you believe that there is a way to kind of maneuver this situation and get a job done?
No, I'm confident as can be. That didn't mean to come out as lacking any confidence. Like, man, I'm here, and any time I line up now, I believe I can win. So that's where I'm at. Like, dude, my riding, this week has been the best it has. Like, each day just kept getting better and better. Like I mentioned pain, like we have pain in my wrist, but man, when that adrenaline goes, the gate drops, like I'm not gonna feel that anymore. I'm expected to win. I feel like I can win. I want to, win this East Coast Championship.
You said the pain is never going to go away. Do you really mean never, or are you talking like in the next 2 weeks?
Dude, at this point, I don't really know. Like, it's such just a nagging little injury. Like, dude, the smallest bone, and like, it's not all the way healed. Like, it's...
And no explanation, I'm guessing, from doctors, or...
I mean, it's going to take a while. Like, they literally said it could take a year for that thing to heal. But, like, it feels more secure now with the plate in there, and like, I have good mobility and everything like that. Like, before, when I was racing in, the SMX rounds, like, dude, I would get these sharp pains where I would have 20-30 seconds where, dude, the pain was unreal. Like, I couldn't even hold on. Where now I haven't had any of those stingers, like, since this new surgery, and I don't have that type of pain where it's just like a dull ache, which, I mean, it's whatever. Like, dude, you know how much I raced in my career with pain? Like, we can get over it.
So, yeah, you could potentially win tomorrow. That's not off the table. You feel like you're in the window of competitiveness.
No, if I get a start, I will win tomorrow. I feel like that.
And is this like not a mental reset, but obviously you had a plan for your career for this year, to now adjust, focus on the East Coast Championship, which 6 months ago was never even a consideration. Has that been a bit of a process to kind of, get yourself ready for that?
I mean, of course I come up with a plan, but then you also have to remember, like, it's God's plan when it comes down to it. Like, of course I want to ride a 450, but whenever it happens, I had to go in for another surgery, and like, man, I was so bummed. And then I look at the big picture, I'm like, maybe I wasn't ready to go race 450 something, on the East Coast. And the way the schedule was set up, I probably would have only been able to race 2 rounds anyways. But now it's like, look, I want to win the East Coast Championship. I've always wanted to, so I have that opportunity to now. We get to start here in Tampa, a Daytona round also, which is great for me. Look at the big picture, like, it is what it is. Like, take it as it is, and how my career is gone. Like, there's never been an easy route, so this is the more difficult route, I feel. I'm okay with that. Just kind of take it as it goes.
Cameron McAdoo, obviously not ideal prep for East Coast. Fair play to you for admitting it and tackling it on the front end. Is this going to go well? Is there even a chance of that? Or is you making it through the main event the longest shot possible?
I've said it a couple times since the press conference. If I didn't think there was actually a chance, I wouldn't be here. My team doesn't deserve that. I don't deserve that. But I truly do believe that I can make something out of this. It's obviously not an ideal situation, but yeah, I do believe that with the assistance of tape and bracing and so on, that I can make something happen out of this.
Obviously, it happened so late in the off-season, which must have made it even a tougher pill to swallow. How was that process? Was it kind of tough for you to overcome it mentally? I mean, maybe you still haven't.
Yeah, honestly, as I've matured, as I've grown older, and as I've dealt with a lot of struggles in my career, and this part of racing for me has been pretty tough. Obviously, I've had quite a few injuries, and I've missed a lot of racing. So I've learned how to understand that this is what we've got, you know. Right when it happened, actually, when I was headed to the doctor, my wife and I were driving, and I told her, I was like, here's the deal, like, these are still the days and the hours of our lives. We have to do the next best thing, take our next best step, and still enjoy life. Like, it's obviously tough. It's I go to bed thinking about it, but yeah, it's I've learned how to deal with it and take my next best step, and that's why we're here right now. When it happened, I told myself with self-talk, I was like, this isn't quite where we're done yet. Like, we're not done yet. We're gonna go racing. Presumably you've ridden since it happened. So how was that? Was it better than expected? Yeah, I rode a little bit on Tuesday, and it was better than I had expected. When you walk around on it, it's a super weird feeling if you've ever had a fully torn ACL. It's not very confidence inspiring, but like I said, with some tape and some bracing, it was something that I felt like we could make good out of. Yeah.
And last question, is there a plan A, plan B, plan C, depending on how this goes? Like, have you discussed, if this doesn't go well, pulling out? Have you already discussed how this looks for outdoors?
We have some tentative plans in place, but it's more of a race-by-race thing at this point. We need to get through tomorrow night, see where we're at, but right now our plan is we're going racing, and my goal is to get through Supercross for sure.
Max Anstie, has been an incredibly long off-season for you. I feel like you've logged 4,000 laps, but as far as I know, there have been no issues. So has this off-season been frustrating because you've just been going around in circles, or do you feel like this is the right time to kick it off?
No, it's been very productive. It's kind of been something that I've always wanted in my career. Like, you always wonder what, the Swanee program's like, what it's like training with all these guys. We had Eli there in December. You've got Coop I ride with, whenever he's there, not on the West Coast, but every day in the off season. Justin Cooper, Hayden Deegan, guys that have won championships that are where I want to get to. And yeah, I've trained a lot alone, and I know my body well, and I, learn a lot of things. But to be able to ride and train with all of those guys has been something different, but also to elevate my levels, kind of fine tune things even more than what I've ever had in the past. So, no, I'm feeling very, very comfy, very good. I originally thought I was going to do West Coast, but actually now racing East Coast, there's been even more fine-tuning since then. Like, I've been able to see and watch and go, okay, that worked, that didn't work.
How much fine-tuning is too much fine-tuning?
I don't know. I'm talking about fine-tuning, like going one click here and one click there, and that's about it really. And just getting settings right for the start of the day, for the main event, or you know what I mean, like, this could be a main event setting, or I click here and I click there. But it's just knowing that from track to track. I also, by saying fine tuning, like, it snowed, right? So I had a lot of fun building snowmans and stuff with Finn, but we got to go down to Sandbox, ride a completely different track that I didn't get to ride, before Anaheim kicked off. Star also had 2 brand new tracks built this last couple of weeks. So we've been on, this last week we've had 2 other tracks to ride. I've been riding with the MTF guys a little bit back where I used to ride on the Honda. So I was able to go back to some of the tracks that I used to ride there, Colleen's track and things like that. So I kind of had a base of where I knew I felt like I was last year there. I could go there on the Yamaha. So it was actually quite nice to be able to do that. And also, when all the West guys went west, most of them stayed out there. So it allowed me to have less guys so I could focus a little bit more on myself. So I kind of got a bit of a mix of both, I feel like. Overall happy. I mean, we spoke about it. Everyone feels great going into the off-season and into the first round, and we're all good, but nothing really matters until tomorrow night. So we're going to see how we get on and execute, hit my marks, execute my starts, and do the job that I need to do.
Last question. In my opinion, maybe you disagree, feel free to. This is the first time you've come into a championship with no excuses, expected to be a title guy, etc., since 2018 MXGP. So it's been a while. Does it feel different? Do you have to get your head around that?
I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but if this is for SMX, but only thing I can relate it to was World Supercross. So World Supercross 250s, I know.
Yeah, but let's be honest, that's not as much pressure.
No, but still for me, I tried to... Everything is preparation for the future. So in that situation, I piled the pressure on myself.
Maybe it was more pressure because
me going racing in London, me going racing in Cardiff, and in Birmingham was like, I want to do this in front of the home crowd. I got second, and I was like, there's no way I'm getting beat after that. And it's like, I knew I had a bike that was capable of and doing it then for that championship. So I had to execute and I had to get the job done. And in a weird way, I knew going into that, no one had prepared and trained like I had. So coming into this, my teammates have all trained like I have. But I'm in a good spot. I mean, we'll see, won't we? But definitely. At the end of the day, if I never had this in my career, never had this opportunity, I'd always wonder, driving here yesterday and even showing up this morning, putting the Yamaha top on, seeing my name up there, like you said, I'm here to win. I'm here to do the job. I'm here to win a championship, get the job done, and I don't see any reason why that shouldn't happen. So we'll just do our thing.
Okay, Daxton Bennick, second year. Obviously last year had some highs, but also some lows.
Yeah.
Are you more stable coming into this year?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm a lot more stable mentally and riding, so I can just tell that at the practice day or practice track. So, it's good. We've had a really good off season, a really good prep coming into this race, and man, I'm excited. We've got to ride a lot of different tracks this off season. We went to Claremont for a day to ride because it snowed in Tallahassee. So, I mean, it's been awesome, and I'm excited to finally get things rolling.
Obviously, the process of improving riding is obvious. You go to different tracks, you do all of that. But how about preparing yourself mentally? What did you do to kind of fix that element?
I have a couple things in my back pocket, and I have some good mentors around me. I got Coop that helps me out a ton, and I think that's a huge help for me. And I feel like I'm learning from the best, so can't argue with that. And it's just learning, growing. I'm still figuring out myself. It's not even from racing, so. Just figuring it out, and you definitely got to be more level-headed, high or low. So you still got to go to work on Monday.
Such a stacked field. Is it hard to stay level-headed when you look at the names around you?
No, I mean it's the same guys I raced last year, except I think Levi and Hampshire. So no, I mean it doesn't bother me too much. I know a good start is important. That's really the only thing. Like, hey, you need to get a good start to be able to start up there, and if you want a shot at the podium or winning. So that's really the only difference. Is puts a little more pressure on the start, but I'm good with that.